18 degrees. I think she's going to get there too. I really, really do. Plenty of day to go. But then it's going to go right on by and head on up to 20 degrees. Not bad. It is Monday, August 16th. I've got to welcome along everybody that's joining us this morning on Facebook Live. And believe me, absolutely fantastic, because today we got a good friend of ours, Anthony Liguori, is coming on back, and we're going to kick it off. Believe me, this went ballistic here at Galaxy. It still is. Lots of people are still requesting it. Here is Midnight in Memphis. Elvis, Central Time, right here at Galaxy. We still get a huge request for this, my bro.
That's awesome.
And by the way, I'm watching you, watching me, watching you kind of thing. Sean Simpson's with us. Nice to have you back, Sean. And we love you, we really do. And thank you. We think you rock as well.
We've got two Sean Simpson and Sean Adams.
Sean Adams is joining us as well. The Seans are amongst us. And Raywin Shaw is with us as well.
Hi.
Awesome.
How's my niece? Karen.
How's your niece? They're right there. Oh, your niece?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said knees.
No, my niece.
I was going to say, what are you doing with your knees, girl? Literally. Today we've got Anthony Liguori coming out of New Jersey, and not for too much longer actually. He's moving very, very shortly. I want to talk to him about that as well, because I love his house. Really, really do. And at the same time, this time, he's not joined by Jerry, Hall of Famer. Literally, we're going to talk about Jerry as well. And also, the Hammond brothers. Yeah, he does a lot of work with them. He really does. So we've got a few things in the irons today in the coals. Sean Adams says, hello, Barbara.
Yeah. We interviewed him a little while ago.
We did. He's a good friend of Galaxy's. And Anthony, it's a real pleasure to have you back, my friend.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Grant, with you and Barbara. It's on the breakfast show. It's awesome.
Well,
thank you so much.
We don't get too many breakfast shows without playing at least one of your tracks. And you would know it because you actually listen quite a bit, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Nice. By the way, I'm loving the hat in the background there.
That's one of my custom hats. The hat company, I don't know if you can see it down here, Hats by Grizz. They kind of sponsor me during the pandemic. We could talk about that. Lewis was talking about how small businesses, and this was somebody I supported, and they make me these Western hats, custom, so I'll put one on later and talk about that.
Nice. I take a black one.
You like the black one?
Yeah, believe me. If you're going to send me a hat like that, please send me one that's black.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd have
You're
to
an outlaw.
Yeah, believe me. Well, I don't wear white hats, and I would never fit in with a white hat in Texas. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They'd all think I'm a cop. Not with this beard.
No.
I think, no, believe me.
No.
But I respect them who do wear those white hats in Texas. I do. They do a good job. They really do. We need them. How's the coronavirus thing? How's the pandemic going where you are?
Unfortunately, we're on the rise again in the states. Certain states are on the rise again. It's not as deadly. Like, in other words, we really don't have a lot of cases winding up in the hospital or even deaths, but it's just that it has spiked in numbers. So It looks like, masks again in restaurants and things like that, maybe booster shots. So I don't know. I think it's going pretty well by you, though, right? I mean,
yeah,
not too bad.
We haven't had anybody in our community for almost a year and a half.
That's awesome.
I mean, there has been one or two, but we've jumped all over it really, really quickly. And, we're good. Let's go to the desk, bro. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Got to welcome along everybody that's joining us on Facebook Live right now. Absolutely fantastic. Thanks for tuning in. Raymond, absolutely love you. Sean Adams, Sean, we love you as well, and looking forward to new music from you as well. Also, Sean Simpson, what can I say? Absolutely love you. We think you rock as well. We really, really do. Today, we're joined by Anthony Liguori, coming out of New Jersey, and not for too much longer, actually. He's heading all the way over to Nashville and has bought a residence over there, so good things are happening there. I just wonder if that's because the Hammond brothers are over there right now. You never know, they might be getting on the sauce anytime soon, and it'll be good to catch up with those guys again as well. Anthony, welcome back to Galaxy.
Thank you so much, Grant. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you, Barbara.
Yeah, now, this is rather unusual. The last time I spoke to you, you had Jerry with you, and I got a lot of respect for Jerry. This time you're flying it alone. So if you need a break or anything like that, maybe you might need a counsellor at the end of it. I know a good one, and she actually is in New Jersey, so believe me, you should look her up. Her name's Randy O'Neill. Fantastic artist in her own right. Great counsellor as well. Yeah, absolutely. A little worried about the butterfly thing though, but you know, she's in the butterflies. She is. Now, we kicked off the show, Anthony, with arguably my favourite Anthony Liguori track, Midnight in Memphis, Elvis, Central Time. Now, let's refresh our audio audience's memory. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, Midnight in Memphis is obviously, it's a tribute type song to Elvis Presley about a car that is found in a junkyard that was once owned by the king, and it comes to life. And I was toying around with the song for a few years, and I didn't have it quite right to my standards anyway. It just felt like there was something missing. And then when I got together with Jerry Foster, his book, there's a chapter in his book where he actually met Elvis Presley, and they had it's called Cheeseburger with Elvis, and they had a cheeseburger. And so there was a cool part about after they had the conversation, Elvis didn't know how to get back to where he was going. He kind of, Jerry told him, follow me, and when I give you the signal, make a turn. And so the car comes, and you know, like the taillights, like two cigarettes. It was in that book, and I said, Jerry, I think that's going to solidify the song. And it really did. It made it all come together. So I wrote it together with the legendary Hall of Fame songwriter, Jerry Foster.
Well, yeah. you know, yes, he's a Hall of Famer, but arguably, you're not shy of being a Hall of Famer yourself. You're an Alabama Hall of Famer, aren't you?
Yes, the Alabama Country Music Hall of Fame, which was a great honor, especially from a guy from up north above the Mason-Dixon line. But I did a lot of shows in Birmingham and that part of the country. And so, I was inducted to the Birmingham, Alabama Country Music Hall of Fame.
Well, you know, Anthony, I've been going through your creds here, literally. Awarded for this, awarded for that. You know, you have a whole host of awards, and absolutely fantastic, my friend. I don't see you stopping anytime soon. But at the same time, you do a lot of television work, and, well, you've been doing something just recently with the Hammond brothers, haven't you?
Yes, we filmed an episode of The Lost and Lonely Highway, and we're hoping to get another one under our belt soon, maybe in the fall. So yeah, you know, I played the ghost of Elvis and that, coming out of the coffins and everything else. It was a hoot. But it's basically, you know, it's like a ghost hunters type of show, but it's fictional, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, that's a bit of me, actually. I'm really into that kind of stuff. I've got to be honest with you. Do you believe in ghosts yourself?
Well, yes, because, I mean, if we had time, I could tell you stories on the road with the Hammond brothers. It seemed like we were conductors. Every time we got together on the road, and we always decided that, oh, maybe we'll stay here instead of there. And that was kind of the wrong move, but the right move at the same time, because we would wind up seeing something, you know, but it was pretty cool.
I love ghost stories. I really, really do. Want to actually get involved in it myself. Do a little paranormal hunting, stuff like that. But, you know, we've had paranormal hunters here in New Zealand, couldn't find a thing, which is really... Mm-hmm. Whereas I'd really like to go to the United States, especially to the Alamo, for instance. That really is haunted. And to the hotel just down the road across the road from the Alamo, that one as well, and a number of really prestigious places, maybe even the building with the lady the Winchester building, maybe go and have a look at that, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Even where the Raggedy Ann doll came from, all that sort of stuff, right into that. But I'm really into the aggressive poltergeist. I like these guys because, believe me, if they can throw stuff at you, I want to have a go of that. I want them to throw stuff at me. I don't mind. Throw money. I dare you. Throw money at me. I don't care how old it is. Throw money at me. Believe me.
Well, to tell you the truth, Grant, like most of the encounters were like Casper the Friendly Ghost. They were not harmful. But there was one time when we ran across something that was a little bit spooky, but it happens.
Yeah, it does. It really, really does. And believe me, there's some places in England I want to check out as well. You know what I mean? They have some superb ghosts. Tim Steinreich, absolutely brilliant, brother man. Nice to have you on board. And Barbara's going to introduce you to somebody that you're going to be very interested in very, very shortly. I know that you're doing something with Steve Lynch from Autograph, but how about we introduce you to the very first and founding lead singer of the band AC/DC, Dave Evans. Put you in touch with him. And also Gare Miranda as well. We're going to do something with him as well. He's going to be, check this out, the cover story in Lazy Indie magazine coming up, not this new one coming out very, very shortly, but the next one in September. It's going to be fantastic. Believe me, bro, you're going to love it. Nice to be with us again. And believe me, bro, missed you. Just wondering, where you been? But in the meantime, my friend, let's get back to Anthony, because Anthony is the man of the hour, really. And when you close your eyes, what do you see?
The song "When You Close Your Eyes."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. That song, I didn't write that song per se. I arranged it. My cousin, who's a songwriter, Chris Durante, and yes, he is kin to the famous Jimmy Durante with the nose and all that. Yes, they are. He basically wrote that song as a rock type of a rock anthem. I mean, it was like very, high, screechy, like when you close your eye type of thing. But when I went to see him live one night, there was something I heard in that song, and I said, I think that we could take this to Nashville and turn it into like a power ballad with that country feel to it, like things that John Michael Montgomery were doing or something like that. Very pop country ballad, and that's what we did. So we took it and we arranged it. But the real the other thing about that song is we also did another version of it where then I did write the lyrics, and it was on my gospel album for Calvary Records. So it went from "When You Close Your Eyes" about a woman to about God, that type of thing, and it really it was a great song for us in that genre as well. Yeah.
Very, very cool, my friend. It really is. Chilling by the lake, nice. I like that. It's summertime where you are, lucky man. Here, live, joining us from New Jersey today, and I'm going to find out when he's going to move. I really, really am. I love his new house too. Is Anthony Liguori, and when you close your eyes, it gives you that sort of thing, doesn't it? It does. You had to say Jimmy Durante, didn't you?
Yeah.
Just made me want to do that. It really did. At the same time, how far away from Nashville are you going to be?
Hey, Roger Adams.
I'm south of Nashville, which is in a town of Hillsborough. The bigger town that I'm close to, which is about 15 minutes away, is Manchester. So I would say like about 55 minutes south of Nashville, just far enough to be away from the hustle and bustle. Because Nashville is growing. I mean, 25 years ago when I went there wasn't even a skyline, and now it's unbelievable. And things like Amazon and movie companies have moved in. So Nashville has become a whole different ballgame. So I didn't want that same vibe that I would have here in New Jersey, where you have house on house on house. I wanted a little piece of property. I wanted to be a little bit away from the city, and that's exactly what I did. So the home is on a little bit over an acre, but I'm right in the middle of farm and horse country.
Nice.
So beautiful horses, cattle, and cornfields. It's just a really nice place, nice vibe.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. It's a refurb, isn't it?
It's what?
A refurb. You've refurbished it.
Yeah. Oh, it was it was a total. I didn't do it, but it was a total rehab. Yes. It was like the real estate company came in and redid the whole house from top to bottom, bathrooms, kitchen, flooring, everything, and built a beautiful deck on the back. So it's really a nice home. I have a 4-stall barn on the back. Barn.
I'm envious, bro. I really am.
That barn is cool, man.
Yeah.
It'll be the main
barn.
cave.
Turn it into a man cave. Yeah, it is a good
Studio
idea.
out
Be able
there.
to make a recording studio out there.
Yes, that's probably what I'm going to do in the near future. Yeah.
Yeah, we think alike. I like that. That just means, bro, that you're going to be making new music and bringing it back to us and doing this all over again.
Absolutely, yeah.
As I said, if you need that counsellor, bro, I can put you in touch. She's gorgeous too, by the way. She is. We love Brandy O'Neill, don't we? We do. Let's go back to the desk. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. It is 21 away from lunchtime, 12 o'clock noon, 14 degrees downtown. The weatherman's winning right now, really worrying. We don't ever get the weatherman to win, ever. Barbara's prediction, 18 degrees today, mine 20 degrees. We're struggling right now, but still a little bit left of the day to go. You never know. It is Monday, start of a new working week, August 16th. And of course, Black Friday last Friday. I hope everything went well for everybody. I really do. But in the meantime, we're talking to the man himself, Anthony Liguori. Now, Anthony, got to welcome along too. Roger Adams is on watching us, and his music always sounds better here at Galaxy. It really does. Love Roger, we really do.
Roger is an awesome artist. He really is. I love his music. Yeah.
Exactly, and also Bonnie Papanusen as well. Nice to have Roger and Bonnie joining us. Now, at the same time, my friend, I note here, and I don't know whether this is contentious of me to ask or not, but you've written a book. And
yes.
I would love to be honest, I'd love to get a signed copy and be able to read about it. But at the same time, you had a near-death experience. Can we talk about this?
Sure, absolutely, not a problem.
Okay, fill me out.
The book is titled "He Said," meaning Jesus, peace be still, and just like on the Sea of Galilee when he said that, for lack of any other better word or whatever you want to call it, I had a near-death experience when I was younger. I mean, I was an adult, but I was much younger at the time. And the experience allowed me into a glimpse of heaven that was just unbelievable. And at the time when it happened, I didn't write the book right away because I was afraid that people were going to think I was crazy. But, as the years went on, more of these stories came out. There was movies about books and things like that. So finally I had the courage to write the book and let the chips fall where they may. Is he crazy? Is he not? But I did not get that reaction at all. What I actually got was a very great and comforting reaction, because there's so many people in the world, of course, that have lost loved ones and bereaving, and they just needed to get that reassurance. Is it for real? So that's how the book came about. I had not intended to write it as a book. I wrote it as a manuscript to just always remember and pass it down through the family. But one day there was a woman at my church who was really grieving. Her husband, she had lost her husband, and I just said, maybe you should read this, and just typed out form. And she was the one who really encouraged me to go on and look for a publisher. So that's how it all came about,
That's really, really interesting. It is. I too have had a near-death experience. In fact, I wrote myself off at a young age on a motorbike, and spent a number of months in comas, in and out of comas. I'm clinically dead twice, and had a kneecap, plastic kneecap put in, stuff like that. Body cast for 18 months in a hospital. Believe me, you itch. I remember the itch. I really, really do. Learning how to walk again and stuff like that. One of the few things that people do ask me when they, I say to them, listen, twice now I was deemed as clinically dead. The first thing they say is, did you see heaven? Did you get, did you have an out-of-body experience and stuff? Well, you know something? If I did, I don't remember it, to be honest. All I saw was black, and I saw it for many, many months. In fact, they had to literally get me out of bed, move me around a bit, even while I was, unconscious, to keep from the blood settling in the bottom of my body, just lying there, you know what I mean? So they had to keep me working and stuff like that. But I'm always fascinated, and if anybody else has, you know what I mean? This, I think, is a little to do with the ghosty thing as well. I like to know what's going on. There's a connection here, you know what I mean? And
absolutely.
Always interested in what other people experience in their near-death experiences. I really, really am, because it happens. It really happens. Things can be just that little bit different. You know what I mean? And explaining that to somebody, it's like the paranormal thing. Everybody goes, oh, listen, you saw a UFO.
Right.
What are you? You know what I mean? Whereas these days, it's more acceptable. It really, really is. So I'm always interested in paranormal, ghosty, anything like that, and finding out the skinny on whether or not, got to ask the question, is there life after death? What do you think?
Right. Absolutely, and I think pretty much positive that heaven is not up in the clouds like we see in a cartoon or anything. I think it's a veil just right here, and it's just another realm, and we basically just walk like you're walking through the threshold of a door. It's that simple. Like, we're afraid of it and everything, but when it happens, I think it's just a seamless transition, in people. No matter how it happens, like if it's an illness, a long illness, but when it's that time, I've seen people, they've become aware of it, and they're okay with it when they get towards that point. Or if it's a sudden thing, I think you just seamlessly just go from, one. It's like walking through the door. That's how I believe it. It's just right here. It's really that simple.
Well, I've always said, Anthony, that it's more like a like sound waves. You can't see them, you can't feel them, or anything like that. Well, you can actually feel sound waves, but the thing is, are we living in dimensions? You know what I mean? This is a physical dimension for this one. Are we transitioning into yet another dimension that this dimension can't actually physically see? Or if it can, it's, pretty fantastic, to be honest. And if you can get that on film, I want to see it. I really do. But are we in between dimensions? You know what I mean? Is there multiverses of these dimensions? And let's be honest. Where did we come from to be this?
Yeah, I hear you.
And many, many people around the world say, hey, listen, I've had past lives. I reckon that's possible. It really is. So are we in yet another dimension, looking at going into yet another dimension?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for getting into this with you, Anthony, but
No,
really,
no. To me, it's very interesting, and I've done nights on the whole topic where, I have my guitar and I sing songs and I tell stories. It's kind of like a storyteller thing, but for this genre, for the religion-based thing and the near-death, and I'll tell the story and I'll sing songs that relate to that and other personal experiences that I've had. And so, yeah, it's something I don't mind talking about at all. As well.
very cool. But I tell you what I do want to talk about is a tug of war. Now, tell me about this track, because I absolutely love this track. How did you come to it?
Which one is this?
Tug of War.
Tug of War. It's interesting. Tug of War. Actually, I have to tell you something about that. That track, and a couple of tracks you have there, I think. The band that's backing me up is the Marshall Tucker Band. The old Marshall Tucker Band. We recorded in their studio down in South Carolina, and I used, I think, about 4 members of Marshall Tucker. So that's why it's a little more edgier than the Nashville stuff. It's got that, that punch to it. And where Nashville is a little more lush in the strings, they kind of pick, but here they're kind of plucking those strings. You can feel the power. Tug of War is a song that we wrote. I wrote with one of my partners. It just came to us. There was a lot of at that point we were listening to a lot of country songs that were kind of quirky or had 2 different meanings, type of things like a lot of country songs do. And so we came up with the idea of Tug of War, and so that's how it came about. But I really was happy that we recorded this down there in South Carolina with the Mark Tucker Band, because it gave it a whole different vibe. Now, when we going back a little bit, When You Close Your Eyes, that was recorded and produced by the Hammond Brothers, and that's them singing the background When You Close Your Eyes, which is a beautiful track. But you could see the difference in the type of, the way, the attack of the music. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I really, really do. Got to say hi to Joan Witchton whoever. I think I've got that right. And also Miriam Peterson is joining us as well. Thank you so much. Joan says, hi, hi Anthony. And Sean Simpson's blowing you kisses, believe me. Yeah, you're a lucky man. She's a very lovely lady. Right yes. Here is the man himself, Anthony Liguori, live on Galaxy with Tug of War. How you feeling, bro? You need a drink or anything?
Excuse me?
Do you need a drink or anything?
I have water right here. Yeah, I didn't.
I
didn't take the bacon stuff.
Yeah, well, you see, I've just come off an interview with a guy drinking, so, well,
I saw that. Yeah.
I thought maybe you'd carry on the tradition for me, but no. Dear. Nice to have everybody joining us this morning. It really, really is. And I'm absolutely elated to be joined by my good friend, Anthony Liguori. Now, Anthony is Galaxy's resident Elvis. He really, really is. He does a huge, huge Elvis show, everything like that. But we're also interested in Anthony singing as Anthony, to be honest. And we would love to be able to see more of that as well. Anthony, how's shows going for you at the moment? Are you getting back into work now?
Say it again.
How's the concerts going for you? Are you looking at booking shows?
Yes, thank God. Well, not one of the main reasons going to Nashville was that during the pandemic, I traveled to Nashville by car, which is with gassing up and everything. It's like a 15-hour one way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was there. I know I was there 13 times during the back and forth, because Nashville and that part of the country opened up a lot sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want to say about it, in the United States, a lot of the pandemic was political.
Mm-hmm.
Went by states and went by governors. If a governor was conservative Republican, they opened up. If they were liberal Democrat, they closed down. So Jersey was very liberal Democrat, and we just shut down. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm out there. Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's go back to the desk, bro. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and well, you know something, it is 8 away from 12 o'clock, just changed, and 13 degrees, it's going down. A little worried about that, I really am. We love to make fun of the weatherman, and today I think he's making fun of us, I gotta be honest. It's Monday, August 16th, and today I'm joined by my good friend, Anthony Liguori, and Sean Simpson says, I love Elvis. You will love seeing Anthony live on stage, and we were just talking about shows and everything like that. Have you got stuff booked? Are you looking at getting back on stage anytime soon?
Oh yeah, I'm working on some pretty big things that I won't talk about yet, but I will soon. I'll let you know. But we do have some shows. I have some shows booked up in Gallatin, Tennessee, with the Hammond Brothers coming in October. And I do have, believe it or not, I do have some, there's a theater, a Bound Brook Theater down here. It's an old historic theater, which is haunted, by the way. They've had me back there. This is going to be the 4th time, and they're going to have me back for Elvis's birthday in January, which is going to be an Elvis show, pretty much, you know, basically. And by the way, it's the 16th here, and that's the day that Elvis passed away, August 16th. So tonight here, the 15th, they will be having the candlelight vigil in Memphis tonight, commemorating that, and you know, thousands and thousands of people commemorate that tonight. But yeah, so the shows are picking up, and that's you know, I'm just hoping that this second round doesn't. But I think we're still a little slow, so I think by the beginning of next year we'll be pretty good. You know, I'm booking anyway, which is good.
That's fantastic, my friend, and believe me, I think the ghost of Elvis is very healthy within your realm, my friend. I really do. Had to get that one in there, I did. Believe me, I really did. But at the same time, I'm just wondering, Anthony, have you ever made a deal with the devil?
A deal with the devil?
Yeah, did you go down to the crossroads?
Oh, the crossroads. Oh, yeah. No, I never made a deal with the devil, but
I did. That's why I look, you know, this way, and I'm only 21, to be honest. Actually, talking of that, do you remember the movie Crossroads?
The Crossroads, yeah.
Steve Vai?
Yeah, the song The Crossroads, I wrote that song several years back when I was like, you know, it was that point when, you know, you didn't know what to do, you know, at Crossroads. Should you pursue this music thing or should you not, you know? And usually, you know, a sensible woman will tell you don't, you know, but a guy wants to follow his dream, you know, so that's how that song came about, you know. I talked about a woman in the song about that was a hair cutter, but I just used that, it was a woman, a young girl that was cutting my hair, but she really just was an inspiration of the character in the song, but she wasn't, you know, what inspired the song. But I used her name was Debbie, and, you know, she was going to college, and she was cutting hair at the same time. So that's where it just came about. But the song was really about, you know, where do you go at the crossroads? Do you follow your dream, or do you play it safe and go this way? Yeah. And obviously, you know, you wind up usually following that dream. You know, being a musician and a singer and a songwriter, entertainer, it's like, it could be a curse and a blessing at the same time, because you're blessed with the gift, but there's nothing else that in life that you really want to do is be on stage and perform, you know. So it's exactly kind of that kind of thing, you know? Exactly.
Now, you were saying the August the 16th, 1977, Elvis Presley was found dead lying on the floor of his bathroom by his girlfriend, Ginger Elder.
Yeah.
Yeah, gosh, he put on some weight, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But a lot of the those pictures that they showed of him in those like sensational magazines like the Inquirer, stuff like that, they would you know, he would be doing an hour concert, and I know even myself, when you do a concert and you sweat you do puff up a bit. And so they would take the most awful picture of that concert and show that. But if you would have seen him walking on stage that night, I mean, there's no doubt about it. He put on weight, but he was never grotesquely overweight. Like I just saw a debate on Facebook saying that he was 350 pounds when he died. He was never 350. Maybe 225 pounds, which for Elvis, that was big.
Yeah.
You know, in Hawaii, when he did that show in Hawaii, he was 175 pounds. So, you know what I'm saying. But, again, he was never grotesquely overweight. But they always, you know, the sensationalism, they always try to make the worst pictures, you know. That's how it goes.
Absolutely.
Like that one you just showed, yeah.
Yeah, believe me, bro, I know all about that, especially having worked in the newsrooms over the years as well. If it bleeds, it leads. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
It's all about sensationalism, being able to sell and sell well. Yeah, that's what it's about. So let's get into it. Here's Anthony Liguori right here at Galaxy with Crossroads. I hope you know, bro, that I've actually got you on my computer thing in my car that I play all the time.
Oh.
So I go driving and listen to you while
That's
I'm
cool.
going out driving. So I don't do that often with people I know and with bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Usually Barbara hands me a USB device that I listen to, and I get no information. It's just the music. You know, I don't get a title or a song title or an artist name or anything like that. It's just listen to the music, and that's only because I can then choose whether or not, on basis of the music, whether I want to do an interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I'm not doing that, I've actually got you playing in my car.
Can Anthony turn on a light? It's getting
Oh,
dark.
Anthony, can you turn on a light, please, bro? It's getting a little dark there.
Oh, yeah, I know. It was bright, and now let me go turn the light on for you. Hang on 1 second.
Cheers, bro.
It was bright before, but now it's starting to get dark.
Yeah, that's because I'm there.
Oh, you know, it's going on for 8 o'clock at night. And
Yeah.
How's that?
Awesome, bro. It must be going on, what, 8 o'clock at night over there?
What's that?
It must be going on about 8 o'clock at night over there.
Yeah, you know, it was just it's getting to be twilight now. I had the window open and we had some sunshine when we started, but now it's starting to go down. Yeah.
Fair enough. What's the temperature like over there?
What time is it by you now?
It's midday.
Oh, okay.
Lunchtime.
Yeah, here it's 8 o'clock in the
Right.
evening.
Yeah. What's the temperature like over there?
We've been having a very hot spells, 90s, close to 100. You know, a lot of thunderstorms because things really need to cool down sometimes. But you know, you're having, like, you do Celsius, so you know we're centigrade, right? You're Celsius. Is that how it goes? So what if you're saying you're at, say, 9? What would that? Is that cold?
9 degrees. I can't. There's no battery in it.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, they haven't changed the battery. Staff. You just can't get good staff, can you? Got somebody who gives me American temperatures, and it don't give me American temperatures. Have a happy and have.
I have
I
happy
have
said
happy-
tears, God bless your hearts and souls.
Okay, but we don't want you to be sad, Sean. We really, really don't. We want you to be happy and enjoy good company and enjoy good music.
Yeah.
We love you. We don't want you to ever be sad. No, it's not in the plan, ever. Smiling all the time.
Yeah.
It makes other people wonder what you've been up to otherwise. Have you ever tried that? You smile at everybody and everything. They just wonder what the heck you've been up to, don't they? My brother and I, we used to get into lifts when they were crowded, especially if, you know, people are leaving work in offices and stuff, and we would always stand with our backs to the door, staring in the opposite direction. Do you know, sooner or later they turn around and expect their back to open up? It's little mind games we used to play with
It does
people.
at the hospital.
Yeah, well, it does at the hospital. You've got to get a bed through the... Yeah. Not usually
Yeah,
in
right
it.
the top it opens that way, and when you get down the bottom it opens the other way.
Oh, believe me and my brother were little brats. We were Let's go
Sure.
back to the desk.
That you've been waiting for is standing at the crossroads of your heart. Standing at the crossroads of your heart. I'll be at the crossroads. The crossroads of your heart. Waiting at the crossroads.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. It is 2 minutes after lunchtime, 12 noon here in New Zealand. And let me give you the skinny on this. I mentioned before that Anthony has received a number of awards, including the Knights of Columbus, Outstanding Humanitarian Award. Let me get my tongue around that one. Unico Award, inducted into Alabama Country Music Hall of Fame. I mentioned that one earlier on. Lost Gold Records Male Vocalist of the Year, Indie Country Artist of the Year, and Lost Gold Records Recording Artist of the Year. I mean, believe me, he's not shy when it comes to picking up awards. I've never had one, ever. Well, one over the years, but that's about it. So, it's nice to be able to rub shoulders with people who have. My father used to say to me once upon a time, if you make friends with bankers, you'll always be in debt to them. Same with insurance salesmen, believe me. Now, Anthony, I absolutely love Shadows on the Wall. Now, tell me about this track because it has me fascinated.
Okay, Shadows on the Wall, again, was recorded. That was recorded in South Carolina with the Marshall Tucker guys. So you feel the edginess of the song. It's pretty funny. Nashville is like this. I wrote that song and recorded it, and I was pitching it around town, for other artists as well, that type of thing. And a few years, I would say about maybe 6 months later, there was a Garth Brooks track that came out, and I think it was titled "The Thunder Rolls," and it was so. I mean, at first, gave me a double take. Nashville's good for that sometimes. A publishing house will hear a song and say, "Wow, it's a great song, but why don't we get one of our guys to write something similar?" That's happened to me several times over the years, and that was one of the songs that happened with. I would say I had 4 songs like that happened to. It's just that's the trade. That's what happens. But Shadows on the Wall is just something a little more edgier. We wanted to come up, a little more of the rock edge with that song. And so, it's just about kind of like, it's a heartache song, and that shadow is somebody that's no longer there type of thing, So, that's the whole concept behind the song, basically, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I tell you, my friend, second favourite of mine is Shadows on the Wall. Of course, nothing's taken away Memphis ever, but Shadows on the Wall, I think, is an absolute fantastic composition of music, talent, songwriting, the whole deal. This has got a great package. It really does. Check this out right here at Galaxy. Here is Anthony Liguori and Shadows on the Wall. I just realised, Anthony, did you see me making fun with religious jokes with Lewis?
No, we did that after. No,
What happened with Lewis?
we didn't do it.
We didn't do it on here? Oh,
No.
thank goodness. Because
It's
I
off air.
wouldn't want to offend
No, it's
Anthony
off-
in
it's
any
off
way,
air.
shape or form. Yeah, I was saying to Lewis about the amount of references in the Bible to the internet. And he says to me, how do you work that one out? And I says, well, okay, let's go back and check this one out, Anthony. I think you'll appreciate it. Adam and Eve. Let's go right on back. Hell, they had an apple. But way back then, technology wasn't that great, so it only took one bite. I also said to him, Moses was one of the first internet users. And he goes, what are you talking about? I says, well, don't forget, again, way back in those days, reception wasn't that great. So he had to get up high, right?
Right.
Yeah, so he climbed a bloody mountain. Yeah. And what did he download from? The cloud. What onto? His tablet.
Oh, boy. That's funny.
So, look,
You know, one thing you were talking, Lewis's name was, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Lewis was talking about small businesses during the pandemic
Mhm.
that he was supporting. And so, you know, all of the hats by Grizz, you know, they make me these custom hats, but, you know, that was how we all came about it. It was during the pandemic. I was doing a lot of Facebook Live concerts and songs, which I've done a song every day on Facebook since the pandemic. I grabbed my guitar and I just started maybe repeating some songs that I really like, but I think I did 400 songs that without changing, you know. And so every day I mentioned Hats by Grizz. I have a little sign behind me here where it says Hats by Grizz. And it was just the thing I felt that I needed to do for a small business, you know. And it just, during this time, you want to help people that we could do that, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
I tell you what, Anthony, when we go back to the desk, I do want to talk about Grizz. I really, really do. But when you receive a copy of this, you'll be able to take it to them and say, look, I am promoting you, and believe me, I'm promoting you on a global scale. 75 countries are tuned in this morning, and
Wow.
literally 219 cities around the world are tuned in, and I'll tell you how many online when we finish this, so that no point in telling you now because we're still doing it.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the desk. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and Jenny Welsinki is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Jenny. It is an absolute pleasure. And today we're joined by Anthony Liguori, coming out of New Jersey. I keep saying, referencing my good friend Randy O'Neill. Honestly, every time I see Randy, I go, it's New Jersey. She reckons I should be a cab driver.
Oh.
She does. She goes, you know, you'd fit in fine driving around, you know, an Uber driver or something like that around New Jersey.
Right.
Now, at the same time, I've been to New Jersey a couple of times. In fact, we've been to Asbury Park, and we've even been to the Garden. We've played at the Garden. I've been with a band that's featured at the Garden, so I'm quite familiar with New York. I really am. And
Okay.
yeah, okay, fair enough. It's a city they named twice, but only because they stutter, right? Yeah, I'm sure it was. Anyway, New York, I'm sure they, yeah, somebody stuttered there and went, that sounds great, we'll call it that. Now, having said that, Anthony, I do want to get around to talking to you about the famous hats that you're promoting right now from the Grizz company. Now, tell me and tell everybody about these fantastic hats. How do we get hold of some?
Yeah, if you can see the sign behind me, Hats by Grizz, made with joy. And Grizz is the hat builder, little Grizz, and Joy is his wife. So Hats by Grizz, made with joy, kind of a play on words. They make these beautiful one-off Western hats. Now, if you buy a Stetson or one of these company hats, and they can be quite expensive, they press them out. It's a mold. They just stick the felt, press it, you get this hat, and it's beautiful. But Grizz makes these by hand, the old-fashioned way, steam, and it starts out with this piece of felt, and he blocks them on a piece of wood, and he's got these old wooden blocks that go back, you know, probably 50, 100 years, and they're all different sizes. So, you know, you measure your head, and this hat is built just for you, and no two are the same. Like you had mentioned, the black one, my signature model is the Silverado. It's got the crease in the front and such, and but everyone is just they never come out the same, which is a cool thing actually, you know. And but they're beautiful, well made, well built hats. And like right now, they're out in Kansas, and it could be like 90 degrees, but he's in that place, steaming. You know, you can't really have air conditioning in his workshop. Unbelievable. So during the pandemic, we struck up a friendship, and so we kind of like partnered. He got me hats, and I would advertise him constantly, and I do that almost every day on Facebook. Since the pandemic started, I did some live Facebook concerts, Christmas concerts. So it's just a good thing for small businesses and helping one another during a terrible time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And believe me, bro, I'm a big supporter of small businesses everywhere. Literally.
Yeah.
I really am. They mum and dad kind of deal. Get them behind them. They are your locals. Buy local. Support local. Believe me. Everybody needs everybody, and these days, especially with this pandemic, small businesses are finding it a little tougher. They really are. So get them behind them. And Anthony, I've got to congratulate you. Maybe, just maybe, you never know, you might have earned myself a new hat now, giving them a plug. 75 different countries around the world. Yeah, not bad actually. I think that's worth a hat.
And you can find them on Facebook, Hats by Grizz, Neighbor Joy, right on Facebook. And they have a shop on Etsy and different things. But if you go on Facebook, Hats by Grizz, Neighbor Joy, you'll find them there. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Do they have a website as well?
Do they have what?
Do they have? Yeah.
Yeah. If you go into that, they have a website, Hats by Grizz website. They have a Facebook. They have a website. They have an Etsy shop. You know, they're on Instagram and all types of things. So they're on all social media. But Hats by Grizz, if you look it up, you will find them. Yeah.
Very cool. Now, I have a question for you, my friend, from a young lady called Pauline, coming out of Alberta, Canada this morning. She asked, and I'm sure I've asked you this myself before in the past, as a fan, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? But more importantly, if Pauline got hold of you, would you respond?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. You can find me I'm on Facebook. I'm on all the medias. You know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know, everything. And I have a website, which is www.anthonyliguorijr.com, which is my name. So you can find that, and you can listen to my music. You can see my videos and things like that. Yeah.
Very cool. Now, Danielle, coming out of North Carolina, also says, Anthony, when are you touring in North Carolina? How do I get to see your show?
Well, I'm hoping that the venues just opened back up and we'll be back all over the place. You know, I'm working with a really good booking agent post pandemic here, and so the only thing that's held us back was the pandemic, and then the shows that were canceled that were already booked. They're trying to get those things fulfilled. And it seems like there's going to be a lot more room for us artists now, because a lot of the older artists, especially I'm talking Nashville now, country, have decided that maybe this is their last run because of everything. So there's going to be a lot more slots and places open for us to be performing. So I'm looking forward to getting back on the road and being all over. You know, I'm working with a gentleman, Len Novin, who has several radio stations out in Arizona. And the Bull, it's called the Bull, and he's got venues out there that are really opening up for us right after the first of the year. So that's really great stuff. Yeah,
love that, my friend. Anyway, we are going to have to wrap this up right now. But one last question for you, my friend, is: are you releasing any new music in the near future? Will you come back again?
Yeah, absolutely. I have more music that I could release, and I'm working on new stuff. I'll be hopefully soon back in the studio doing some things with Jerry Foster. And by the way, Jerry says hello, and he totally enjoyed his time the last time. Unfortunately, I'm here and he's back in Nashville right now. But he's a great man. Not only is he a great entertainer, a great songwriter, but Jerry he's aces, man. He really is. He's the best.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Give him a pat on the back for me the next time you see him. Next time you see Roger, give him a big hug as well as Bonnie Pappenhuisen. And those two troublemakers that you hang out with all the time, give them a poke in the eye for me, won't you?
I sure will. I'll be seeing them soon. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Don't go anywhere just yet, Anthony. We've got a couple of things we do. I'm sure you're aware of it. But right now, let's go back to the other studio. Here's Wang Chung back in the day. Dance all days.